wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Tiz.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, DJ NV. Good morning, Charlamagne the Guy.
Yo. What's up, Ted?
How was your weekend?
It was very good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's jump right into the sports. All right, the Chiefs beat the Dolphins, Saints beat the Bears, Vikings beat the Falcons, the Packers beat the Rams, Commanders beat the Patriots, the Texans beat the Buccaneers, the Ravens beat the Seahawks, the Browns beat the Cardinals, the Colts beat the Panthers, the Giants lost to the Raiders. Not only did we lose that game, we lost the quarterback for the rest of the season, it looks like. And the Eagles beat the Cowboys, Bengals beat the Bills.
I'm glad you humbly said the Eagles beat the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought you was about to try to be cocky as if your Giants didn't lose. Because, you know, one thing about y'all, especially New York, is y'all lack self-awareness. So, you know, even though the Giants lost, y'all will still act like, and the Eagles watch those Cowboys. Yeah.
See, that's why I do it, because I didn't do it.
I'm glad you was humble.
I didn't do it, and he still got on me. See, I didn't do
glad
it.
you was humble. I just wanted to make sure you was humble. That's all. That's it.
What?
You did it right.
And in Monday Night Football, the Jets take on the Chargers. All right. Now let's jump right into it. Let's talk about Alabama Mayor.
Yeah, let's talk about Alabama Mayor. But quickly with sports and HBCUs, I wanted to throw out there that Howard University now has the first HBCU figure skating team in the country.
I seen that.
Yeah.
Drop a bomb to that.
Black on ice. All right. So Alabama Mayor Bubba Copeland kills himself after right-wing 1819 news outlet outed him for cross-dressing. The Alabama preacher, politician, and married father of three killed himself Friday, 2 days after he was outed as a transgender curvy girl. Now, Copeland was the mayor of a tiny town called Smith Station, as well as the pastor at First Baptist Church. Now, the conservative news site 1819 News exposed his secret online life about how he went by the name of Brittany, a transitioning transgender curvy girl. He said that he did it as a way to relieve stress, that his wife was aware, and he delivered his regular sermon that same day that he was outed, and he had this to say.
I've been an object of an internet attack, an article that was written about my capacity as a mayor, capacity as a pastor. The article is not who or what I am.
Now, his suicide came after police was notified to do a welfare check. They began tailing his car. He exited the vehicle, pulled out a handgun, took his own life. But what is eerie about this, guys, is he did an interview in March of this year. And when he was speaking about Smith Station, he was saying that their number one problem is suicide. He said, it is sad. I think a lot of us come from the military, and it has something to do with social media and the reality of that. He said that's the number one problem that they had in their town. So that was really eerie. And just as a FYI, 1 in 7 transgender people are not open about their gender identity to people in their family. In addition, 51% have reported hiding or disguising their LGBTQ status at work because of fear of discrimination. So I thought this is interesting because last week you guys had a story where you were talking about, remember Santana was saying, when are you too old to be gay? And although, you know, we were talking about it, one of the points that was brought up was people, how they hide, you know, their identity and come out when they're older. So this is a really sad story to see this happen.
Yeah, very sad. I mean, what should happen to somebody who outs somebody like that? You know, because it's their personal life. It's how, you know, like he said, he did it to relieve stress or whatever the reason he said. But if somebody outs that person and that person doesn't want to be outed, he doesn't want to be put out there like that, what should happen to that person that outs him?
I mean, I don't think there's no laws on the book about outing people, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any laws on the book, but I am aware, you know, something called liability, and being that, you know, it's an 1819 News is an actual entity, you know, the family certainly can, you know, look to see, you know, what,
right,
if there's any liability associated with that. Funeral services are scheduled this week. So, you know, maybe they will, you know, look into that.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's talk about Tyson and chicken.
Yeah, this is really important. Tyson recalls 30,000 pounds of chicken nuggets. They are voluntarily recalling about those dino-shaped chicken nuggets. So if you buy those for your kids, some consumers have found small metal pieces in their patties. Now, the recall was announced Saturday. It's for the 29-ounce plastic baggies that says fully cooked fun nuggets, breaded shaped chicken patties. Those bags have a best use date for September 4th. They were sold in Alabama, California, Illinois, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, Tennessee, Virginia, and Wisconsin. So if you bought those chicken nuggets, throw them out.
Now, I know folks got those in the house for the kids. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? But what Trick Daddy said a long time ago here on the Breakfast Club: stop chicken nuggeting them kids to death. Right?
Is that what he said?
Yeah, stop chicken nuggeting them kids to death,
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes that's just easy, especially when mom's not there and dad's there. Look, you're gonna get these chicken nuggets. All right.
That's crazy. Hopefully nothing happened to any of those kids because they can, it's very scary.
They said because there's metal in them?
Yeah, they found small metal pieces.
Jesus.
In the patty. So, and wanted to give everybody before we close out just what's coming up for the week. So we have Trump on the stand today. Local elections are tomorrow, guys. So pay attention to your local elections. That what matters way more to me than the federal level. And then on Wednesday we have the third Republican debate. So we'll be covering all that this week on Front Page News.
All right. Thank you, Tez.
Absolutely.
We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Now, everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Let us know how your weekend was. Did you have a good weekend, great weekend? What did you do? Call us up. 800-585-1051. It's your chance to vent. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What up, Tiz?
What's going on, DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God?
Peace, Tez.
Let's jump right into some front page news. Start off with sports. The Chiefs beat the Dolphins. Saints beat the Bears. Vikings beat the Falcons. Packers beat the Rams. The Commanders beat the Patriots. The Texans beat the Buccaneers. Ravens beat the Seahawks. The Browns beat the Cardinals. The Colts beat the Panthers. The Raiders beat the Giants. The Eagles beat the Cowboys. And the Bengals beat the Bills. And in Monday Night Football, the Jets take on the Chargers.
I'll tell you one thing as a Dallas Cowboy fan, not making no excuses, it is very hard to beat a good team and the referees. Just want to put that out there. I mean, nobody is going to say anything about the referee who, called a flag last night. I forgot who it was against. But then when you look at, he called the flag, then he picked the flag back up. And then when you look at the replay, you can clearly see one of the Eagles players push my man in the face, and you can see why they called the flag in the first place. But you going to call it and just pick it up? What kind of sense does that make? So it's just very hard to beat a good team and the refs. NFL.
Oh, sorry for your team losing. Now let's jump right into it. Let's talk about what happened in Montgomery.
You're not really sorry, but
nope.
Just to give an update. So we remember when the Montgomery Brawl happened, everybody was making memes, talking about it, and then people just kind of fall off. They don't go back and actually follow the story. So I wanted to give you an update on 2 of the 5 suspects have pled guilty for their actions. 21-year-old Mary Todd pled guilty to harassment as a part of the plea deal. Her deal orders her to complete anger management courses, and she has to pay for the costs associated with her case. The other suspect, 48-year-old Richard Roberts, pled guilty to assault and was sentenced to 32 days in jail. Roberts will complete his sentence in a span of 4 months, as well as completing 100 hours of community service and covering court costs. Those are the white folks, by the way, because people wanted to know, what's happening to the white folks. But the other 3 suspects, including Reggie Ray, who we call the chairman, is scheduled to appear in court November 16th. So he will be charged with disorderly conduct, as well as Todd and Shipment, 2 other individuals that were involved, and they will be charged with 3rd-degree assault. So I'll follow that on the 16th to see, if he gets any punishment for hitting the chair, having a folding chair.
Okay. Now let's see what's going on with Alaska Airlines.
Yeah, interesting story on this one. I hate these flying stories. I'm flying today. But according to a newly filed lawsuit, passengers on the Alaska Airlines flight where an off-duty pilot attempted to cut off the engines and felt the plane, and they felt the plane dramatically pitch forward as if it was in a nosedive. Now, this happened a couple of weeks ago, but now the passengers, they're filing a lawsuit. That is the new story. And they're filing it against Alaska Airlines and Horizon Airlines and the pilot. They claims that the airline did not properly evaluate off-duty pilot Joseph Emerson before they gave him the seat in the extra cockpit, the jump seat. So the lawsuit claims had they done so, he would have more than likely he would have been denied admission and could not have been in a position to nearly kill everyone. They're saying that he tried to kill everyone because he was going through some type of nervous breakdown and was depressed and had used magic mushrooms. So they're blaming the airline for that. I don't know how I feel about this one, guys, because I don't know what they could have evaluated, how they could have predicted this guy doing this.
No.
Unless there's something in his medical report that, literally says that there's some type of medical issue. I don't know if him saying he was experiencing nervous if that's in the medical report or not. So this is going to be interesting to see. I get them filing the lawsuit, but at the same time, I just, how could they?
But he wasn't. I mean, from what I read, he wasn't supposed to be in that seat. Period. He was off duty. You're not supposed to be in that. You're not supposed to be in that seat if you're off duty. So that's the problem. Like, they let him fly in that seat knowing that he was off duty. He had no business in that seat.
But if he's an active pilot and he works for the airline, I don't see why there would be a problem, because they have people do that all the time.
He had no business being in that seat. You have to be on duty to sit in that seat. He was off duty. So he had he should not have been in that seat in the first place.
Because I thought with those jump seats, that's what they're made for. That's why there is a third seat in the cockpit.
He's off duty.
Yeah, but there's never 3 pilots. I thought they have those jump seats for off-duty pilots getting to their next flights and whatever they have to do. No,
it wasn't for off duty. Not from what I read.
Well, from what I'm reading, the lawsuit is claiming about his medical condition. But I'll look and see if that's also an issue about him not being in that seat. But they're not, at least as far as what I'm reading, it's mainly about his medical condition. And that was my thing. Like, how would they determine, he could have did this as well?
Right.
This.
All right. Well, that is your front page news. Thank you, Tiz.
Absolutely.
Well, they say he was a standby employee passenger.
Okay.
So what does that mean? He was supposed to work? If things didn't go well?
I don't know.
Well, we'll see as the lawsuit moves forward.
Now you can check out Tez where, Charlamagne?
Subscribe to Tezlyn Figaro's podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and follow at Tezlyn Figaro on all social media platforms.
All right. Now, when we come back, Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg will be joining us, and our sister Angela Raj, she's going to stop through to hold us down with this interview as well. So don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club on BET.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.